Hey class, and welcome to this week's lesson, Lesson 2. Hope everybody's getting settled in and has figured out the course and how to navigate through Canvas okay. This will be kind of our first official week where we will be diving into the 3 different portions of this course that I mentioned last week. Each week we'll be doing work in life skills and in writing and in math. So last week was really a get to know the course, get to know Canvas, kind of understanding the workings of everything. Submit your first assignment with the get to know you activity, and then this week we'll really start diving into those. So before I get started, just as a reminder, I know a few people have reached out and they've been having issues with internet and getting up and going, and that's kind of expected with the beginning of the semester. So if you've had some of those problems, just reach out to me, let me know, and we can work through that. So starting off this week in life skills, you're going to be learning about something called the learning model. This was something that was kind of pioneered by BYU Idaho. I remember when I started at BYU Idaho back in 2005, I feel like it was still pretty new back then. They had just come out with this new idea that was really kind of different from the traditional learning style of college, which was where kind of the traditional way was more of a come to class, hear the professor lecture for an hour, you take notes, and then later on you take a test. And what BYU Idaho did is they kind of flipped that around and said, we really want students studying prior to class and coming to class with questions. And then at the end of class or in the future, they want those students teaching other people. And it's been kind of a method that they've tried for years, and they've proven that it really does help. They call it the learning model because it really helps in your learning and cement those ideas. You'll find as you go through college and everything that as you teach somebody a concept, really that helps you understand it better. I think a lot of the math that I really feel like I understand and know came from years of being a math tutor while I was in college, and that was because day in, day out for my job for like 3 hours a day, I'd be helping people with math problems. And so I really got that concrete knowledge of it. So you'll be learning about that, the learning model. As part of the material in there, you'll hear something called a learning journal. This is just a recommendation for you to do. It's not a requirement. It's not something that you'll be turning in each week. But it's really, it's meant to be a journal about just different things that you're learning, things that you might want to remember in the future. So I encourage you to do that, but again, it's not a requirement and it won't be something that's graded. So moving on, we have the writing portion this week, which will be talking about the basic construction of a paragraph, having a good strong topic sentence, 2 supporting sentences, and a conclusion sentence. So part of that material this week, your application activity, which is an assignment that you'll be turning in, will be writing a paragraph. This is preparing us because I'm trying to remember, I think it's in week 5 is when we'll kind of do our first essay for the course. So this is, we're starting off with the paragraph, and then we'll move on next week and continue building, and on week 5 we'll do an essay. But the prompt for the paragraph this week is going to be, why am I enrolled in Pathway Connect? So kind of a probing question, thought process, why did you choose to take this class? Why did you choose to enroll in Pathway and for the next 3 semesters, right? So if you have any questions with that, please feel free to reach out before you write your paragraph if you need any help there. And then last but not least, we do start our math this week. Hopefully this is a review for most of you. We'll be working on some basic addition and subtraction. You can go through all the material, but what I would recommend is where this week is a review week. If you feel pretty comfortable with it, you can go ahead and just jump right into the practice, see how you do. And if you do great, then you don't really need to spend a lot of time watching all the videos and reading through all the material. If you don't do so well, then I'd recommend you go back and you look through the material and read it all, watch the videos, and then you can always retake the quiz. So that's all I have for you this week. I told you last week it was a long video because it was week 1, but hopefully going forward I can keep it around 5 minutes, keep it pretty simple so that way you guys can get on your way. As always, you can reach out to me if you have any questions. I noticed a lot of people, I forgot to mention this in my video last week, a lot of people left comments below the announcement, and that's great. If you have questions pertaining to an assignment, or kind of something generic, that's a great spot to put those because you're probably not the only person with that question. So, if you have a question like, hey, Brother Dixon, where do we submit the assignment or something like that, right? That's a great question that anybody can answer, as well as anybody else might have that question. So making that comment below the announcement is a great place to put that. If you have a question, though, specific about your assignment or your grade or something specific to you, don't worry about putting that below. That's when you can just send me an email and we can correspond that way. Anyways, that's all I got for you. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.